Well, good afternoon, greetings once more, and this time I'm actually up in Tennessee. I'm at the Great Smoky Mountain National Park once again. Fantastic to be here. I've actually come in on one of the side trails. I'm trying to avoid all of the foot traffic. As you know, the Smoky Mountains are the busiest of all the national parks in the US, so it can be very busy, especially in springtime and in the autumn or fall. But all I'm doing this afternoon really is I'm looking to scout this one little area that I want to come back to first thing in the morning. I want to see if I can find some ideas for the morning light and then be ready to photograph from them. So I'm not expecting to find anything this afternoon, just have a nice walk around and see whether this little area is worth it. So let's go have a look. So you can see behind me, this is a truly wonderful place. But they're so concerned here in the national park about keeping it a secret, or at least keeping it undamaged, that I've actually counted more than 10 volunteers and park ranger people just in this tiny little area while these wildflowers are going on. And there's guided trips down here and everything, so it's not exactly the secret place that I was led to believe. In fact, there was one lady online who said that we shouldn't even talk about the name of this place because it should be kept a secret. But I've found all kinds of mentions of it online, and as I say, there's guided trips coming down here, so I think the cat is well and truly out of the bag. But having said that, this is truly a wonderful place. In fact, on the way down here, I actually saw on the side of the road, the whole of the side of the trail was actually covered in the dwarf iris. It was amazing. And then since I've been coming down here, as you can see, the whole valley of this place is covered in this blue-purple phlox. And there's also been wild geraniums. I've seen the heartleaf foam flower. And even one of the volunteers pointed out to me they have the wild ginger flower here, and it's this tiny little brown flower that hugs the ground. Beautiful to look at, but not a bright colour. And he says that down below that, if you actually dig it up, you would see that ginger root that you get when you're in the supermarket. So that was something I hadn't seen before. But what I'm here for, I guess, is to find a nice composition either for later this evening or tomorrow morning first thing. So that's what I'm going to be walking around and looking for. So I've been looking around and scouting for quite a while, especially down over in the main area there. It's quite restricted because you've got to stay to the paths. Obviously there's a lot of flowers, you don't want to be trampling around on those. And it's quite difficult, as per normal in a forest, to make sense of the chaos. You don't want all these little things sticking up everywhere, especially on the edges of your scene. So finding something to simplify down, and which is nice and natural, is quite difficult. I've come away from the main area at the moment, and I've found this little subject here. There's a main trunk, and then all of these vines which make a very interesting, almost chaotic pattern. But there's the blue violet phlox down the bottom here, and even there's a yellow trillium there, and some other things as well. So I quite like this. Sun is in completely the wrong direction. I took a quick snapshot with a polarizer on it, and it certainly looks pleasing to my eye, but I think it would have to be a morning shot, and at this point in time I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to be coming back for that. So I'm going to keep looking on and see what else I can find. So it's gone 5:30 now, and I am pretty much on my own. The last of the day trippers have gone. The volunteers, the rangers, they're all heading off home. So I've got this place to myself, and I'm just hanging around here for the late evening sun to see whether I can get some nice golden light on the two scenes that I've found for myself. But I wanted to go into a little bit. It's a bit of a sad story here, because this place, by all accounts, a few years ago, the blue phlox at this time of the year would be absolutely covering the whole of the ground here. And unfortunately it's not anymore, and part of that's to do with some wild hogs that they've had. In fact, the rangers were saying that they had a huge big net over on the far side, and they've caught up to 26 hogs this last year, just by dropping that net on some corn that they put out to attract them. And in fact, they've caught over 9 in the last couple of weeks or something, just getting this place ready. So there's a muddy patch over there where they were actually catching them. And the other reason is because of the hog activity, a lot of the ground around here is being compacted, and so the blue phlox isn't necessarily growing, but this invasive chickweed has pretty much taken over a lot of it. So I don't think it's a case of paradise lost yet, but they're certainly having to work very hard to keep it even in the way it is. And the more human traffic that comes, the more they get to know the place, and it's widely known now, I can tell you. It's a very popular place. But the more human traffic that there is, the harder it's going to be to keep it pristine and good, because it is a very beautiful place. Okay, so this is one of the two setups that I have found, and it's actually very close to that area where the hogs have been rummaging around for the corn that was set in the trap. But if I just show you here, this nearest tree here is dead, and it's got some nice textures and things on it, and that is basically the foreground, or the main subject in the image. And we've got these two flanking trees going up the hill, but of course the real star of the show is all these flowers which are in and around the actual scene. And then we've got the evening sunlight just lighting up and giving some textures to these trees. So I think it's a nice simple scene. It's about the closest thing to simplicity that I've managed to find today. Everything else is a little cluttered. But I'm going to go ahead and take that shot so that I can move over to the other one before the sun finally sets. Okay, let's have a look at this last image for this evening. Not sure you can see it on the screen here, but we've basically got this lovely big tree trunk holding the left of the scene, and the moss on this fallen tree trunk down the bottom also anchoring the bottom of the image. And then of course we have the reason that we're here, this beautiful blue phlox and all the other flowers leading off into the distance in the background. But it also shows these silhouetted tree trunks which are not overlapping each other, with a beautiful evening backlight. So I think it works on a number of levels, but most importantly it probably shows how this wood should look when it's in its pristine format. Certainly this is what's going to remind me of being here today. So that's me done for another day. Thanks for watching. I've got one more day here in the Smoky Mountains, and that'll be tomorrow morning. But if all goes to plan, then that'll be for another video. So for this week, just want to say thanks again. Beautiful place. You ever get the chance, come on down. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.